Zager's secret compound discovered. Inside the rat hole, sources say pornography, drugs everywhere. Zager almost certainly had other hiding spots. Even Derringer suggested as much to me the other night in a, interview? I'm not printing this, of course. Makes him look bad. Makes them all look bad. You can't be perceived as having crack security when a crackpot is living in your walls rent-free.
Prizrak, I just received an alarming message that 933W was seen leaving the library wearing one of our uniforms. He may be heading back your way to find that girl he's been crushing on. Notify me immediately if the actions of any of our agents seem in the least bit suspicious to you.
I wonder what this mystery room with no camera feed could be. A Zager safe room, perhaps?
Settle down, children, settle down. I am as anxious as you are to acquaint myself with Miss Prideaux. She is a most welcome addition to our Republique. And to that end, I would like to present her and all of you with this small gift, a symbol of longevity and the relationships we look forward to watching take root.
Thank you so much, Headmaster. As one who will be so singularly focused on the well-being of these young, bright minds, I am truly humbled. I cannot express how sincerely I am looking forward to getting to know each and every one of you.
Mireille's liberal arts education is of little benefit in this crushing environment. I wonder if she would even recognize her former, idealistic self. Zager's poisoned manifestos. More fuel for the fire. The girl should be extra careful going forward. Looks like Mireille knows she has escaped from the brig.
What? What is this? Mon Dieu. Banning the children's access to such fundamental literature was not enough. Now he believes these books have been smuggled into the domes. Please let the headmaster know that I shall investigate this, despite his suspicions being not only unwarranted, but mildly insulting.
Madame, do you really want me to tell him that?
All but the last part.
A cell phone charger, worthless without the phone, but no less dangerous as contraband.
My pockets are full. Let's see what he's carrying. I got something.
I would pronounce the team behind this freaky little game, but text-to-speech has a hard time with the word Simogo. These guys did some lighthearted games before making Year Walk. When I played this game, it really frightened me. How do you go from such happiness like Bumpy Road to a psychological head trip like this one is beyond me. I hope these guys didn't fry their brains. There are many alcoves within Metamorphosis. Each one, a perfect fit for a precal who wishes to remain unseen.
Welcome to my domain. What would you like? Leaving so soon? Welcome to my domain. Care to purchase? Monitor prisoner patrol routes. Sorry to see you go.
I can't carry anymore.
Pages from the mini manifesto. Looks like they've been ripped out. Mireille would be wise to dispose of these more discreetly. Something in those pages has Mireille quite upset. Zager's words sting like tear gas in the eyes of the establishment.
Pyramid flags flutter in the wind. His voice carries above them, singing a promise to lead these men, to honor, protect, and love them. From his garden perch, he keeps us secure against the forces of evil. He spares our minds the hollow allure and fraud of Zager's upheaval. The Republique stands and will for all time, safe from ruin or disaster, because he is watching out for us all, our noble and wise headmaster.
390H, my dear, my inspiring pupil. I know you're not accustomed to gifts, but this is more than just some trinket. It is a secret.
between you and I, and it cannot be shared until we are both ready. So I will keep the key for safekeeping until the two of us agree to open it together. Until then, I hope you will treasure its beauty as much as I do you. And when you gaze upon it, I hope your thoughts will be of me.
Hey, Fishy, you hungry? Here you go. What does the world look like to you? Fishy, I'll tell you a secret. I like a boy who lives on the other hall. The one we call Weep. He sits beside me in history class, and he's adorable. I'm too shy to talk to him. I'll hold on to this.
There are few things, librarian, as disappointing as failed leadership, especially when that leadership fails by giving in to mental illness or desire. Hawthorne came from a line of leaders, but you wouldn't know that by reading his account of Dimsdale. The Scarlet Letter would teach our citizens that its leadership can succumb to the weaknesses that we work daily to cure. Such doubt is unacceptable. Where would we be without faith in government?
This is the girl's room. 390H. Of course, this isn't what she calls herself.
Japan had the sense to try and then fine a translator for dragging this garbage into Japanese. Out there beyond our walls, Lady Chatterley's lover has a reputation as sidekick to hormones in adolescent awakenings. Puberty is a delicate time. We need to cultivate it as a plant in a garden. We cannot teach them control with this floating around. I assure you, we know better than Lawrence.
I'll hold on to this. Going in for the steal. Got it.
A modern game with all the trappings of a great 90s arcade cabinet, mutants, post-apocalyptic environments, killer co-op. I like to imagine nuclear throne machines lining every laundromat and corner store, disaffected youths pushing grannies out of the way, placing quarters to claim their spot in line. The developers at Lambeer are the true wasteland kings.
NTR.
Look what your arrogance has wrought. You are destroying the things that make your life meaningful. You are doing this to yourself. And unless you tell me where you have hidden that manifesto, I will accelerate that which you've already chosen to inflict upon yourself. Prizrak, take this precal to confinement.
A cassette.
This looks like an old cassette tape. You may find this difficult to believe, but I am actually old enough to remember when these were popular. I remember seeing an old boombox when we ransacked one of Zager's hideouts. However, with the facility's new censorship system coming online, I suspect most of this Zager end will be suppressed. The man enjoyed his salty language, to put it mildly.
Another quiet night.
Going into Pickett's pockets. God.
They call Super Hexagon a Twitch game. I doubt even Doc Holliday had quick enough reflexes for this one. I've never gotten farther than 3.5 seconds. It's intense. I don't know if that's because it gives me vertigo, or because of the ominous lady shouting game over every time I die.
I'm arranging one of the tech crews to run a full diagnostic of the metal detectors in the facility. But I want you to oversee the work on your station personally. There are too many potential hiccups that could be had in the commissary. And with the arrival approaching so quickly, I'm looking to you to shore up the weakest link. If you need any additional resources, you let me know.
I would add stolen cell phones to that list. When I play Kentucky Route Zero, I'm transported to my childhood. I can smell the coffee-stained computer in my father's home office. Conway's surrealistic point-and-click adventure is something best experienced on a quiet Sunday morning. As the sunlight pours into the room, I wonder when the developers at Cardboard Computer will release the next episode. I don't mind waiting though. Every new episode is a gift. You have just found a new battery for the girl's phone. Some OmniView abilities require battery power, and will not work when the girl's phone is not well charged. You will probably find more batteries lying around this facility. You may also recharge the phone at a demon server or inside confinement rooms.
I'll take this.
Good idea. We can recharge here.
Welcome to my domain. What would you like? Lure Prizrak away from the trolls. Leaving so soon.
Prizrak, checking in. Prizrak, checking in.
I'll check his pockets.
Don't let creator Benjamin Rivers serenade you with lies about how this game is just a sci-fi romantic adventure. I know what Alone with You is really about. It's about the time video games were going through an existential crisis, driving around in a Trans Am, feathered mullet blowing in the wind, rocking that new CD player and not truly knowing who they are, or why they're here, or what that disembodied voice is telling them. And that's a beautiful thing.
The body is strange, librarian. Oxytocin and endorphins lead so many to mistake robotic chemical responses for emotional attachments. Worse, though, is what Burroughs promotes. He suggests deviant behavior as a mechanical way around the trappings of societal control. We cannot let people think their bodies are ways around the state. They must exercise the Republique with their bodies in everything they do. Everything. Throw naked lunch in the pile.
Onto this.
Everything looks good.
If the girl needs to circumvent a room full of Prizrak, the vents are a good way to travel.
Welcome to my domain. Sorry to see you go.
Over there. I'm pursuing this subject.
Let go of me!
I can't see!
Going in for the steal. Nice.
Destiny was my favorite jam of 2014. I just want to live in a tight fantasy sci-fi world, blasting away at enemies, dancing in the tower, and taking a breather while in the majestic aurora of orbit. Destiny is the rock and roll of games today. Even its stiff-necked detractors are quietly tapping their toe to its infectious beat.
It's yours. This is mine.
Can you believe that many regard Whitman, the iconic poet of the American Republic? That alone says enough. This verbal monument to sensuality and excess, you know that no library except Philadelphia would touch it after publication. Reading it is like watching the man stroll naked through the streets. I, too, sing the body electric, though perhaps more forcefully than even Whitman could enjoy.
I'll check his pockets. Got it.
Gravity Rush is secretly one of the most innovative games from Japan in the past few years. I love everything about this game, the thrill of its gravity-defying platforming, its twisted Parisian aesthetic, and even the name of the heroine's black cat, Dusty. You may not know a ton about Japanese culture, I'm an expert. But Gravity Rush is called Gravity Days in Japan. That's so much cooler.
Increase the threat level.
to my domain. Sorry to see you go.
The door.
How are you out of your cage?
Murray.
I gave you a stay of execution, and this is how you repay me.
Murray is coming.
Well, those flickering embers of clemency have gone cold.
There must be another way out of here.
That file is dead, and so have we. So are you when I get down there.
There must be something you can do.
Before we can look to the future, we must look to the one who will lead us there.
The Overseer secures the bonds between us all. Only let him serve, and you will be served in return. The civil engineer, the monopolist, unifies different industries under the banner of righteous. The neighborly policeman. Wisely, the politician shows that serving the people is the path to sane obedience.
Let's get out of here before she shows up.
Mr. Treglazov, Vice Admiral Matthews of the Pacific Fleet.
Pacific? You're a long way from home, Admiral.
So are you, if I'm to believe the rumors. First time in Washington, sir?
Hardly. I was told General Karnofsky was heading up this project.
The general retired over the holidays. I'm overseeing now, from a military standpoint at least.
I see.
Apologies if I seem hurried. I have a meeting with the new superintendent of the Naval Academy at 1.
That's in 5 minutes.
Like I said.
Well, it's hardly enough time to pitch my vision.
So I've read over your evaluative study, and we've taken your recommendations into account.
Is this a joke to you?
Excuse me?
Your security, the security of your country, is at stake.
Now you listen here. I dedicate my life to the protection and security of the United States. If you think you have a better approach, we'll entertain it. But do not come in here and make threats.
I made no such...
And try to muscle some wildly expensive cryptographic software through the door.
You can pay today to prevent a catastrophe. Or you'll pay tomorrow to clean it up.
Okay, that's a threat. Right there. You get out of my office. Now!
Censorship AI to be updated, expanded. Profanity. An assault on young and old alike. Now that has gone too far. You can have my right to privacy. You can have my booze and caffeine and chocolate. But when you take away my right to curse a blue streak, you leave me with nothing to say. For once, in my job, I am absolutely speechless.
Fake passports and foreign currency. The Overseer has an escape plan, even if the rest of us do not.
One of the great terrors of literature is its ability to touch a reader's unspoken experience. But you understand, librarian. A Republique requires peace between its citizens. Animal Farm gives voice to bigoted trends we must erase. Its laws separate citizens into different body types. Those with 2 legs and 4 legs and wings. It's a short jump from this fiction to realizing that you've never liked the color of your neighbor's skin. This one belongs in a cage.
Yes, madam.
Nicely done. You are one cool customer. Now you have the Omni software update needed to access the library door. I have set a new waypoint to lead you back to the atrium. Before going back to the atrium, I recommend unlocking a few Omni abilities at this terminal.
Welcome to my domain. Care to purchase new reveal present locations on the map? Sorry to see you go.
Come out, child. Easy on yourself.
A screwdriver. These are great for opening vents, but they are flimsy and will often break. Hopefully, there's more than one lying around.
A screwdriver.
You know what I want.
There goes another good screwdriver.
Good.
I'll check his pockets. Got it.
Consumers don't know what they want, or at least that's what a bunch of corporate executives tell themselves every day. In the case of 2D Metroidvania games, most publishers stop funding these so they can focus on crappy mobile games for babies. Thanks to bold indie developers like Tom Happ and Axiom Verge, we don't need no stinking corporation to make the games we want.
Checking in.
No.
Quiet
Where's
now.
Rack?
This is a taser model C2CW. It really packs a punch, and will render its target incapacitated for the night. Equip the taser as you would any item in the girl's inventory.
Unhand me.
It burns! Looks good.
Boys' side of the commissary. This is where wheat beats.
This is Central. Derringer's folks distributed the new allotment of tasers last night. With all the added precautions because of the arrival, he insisted they be stowed in the lockbox for safekeeping. Passcode is 4118. And watch your step. If you thought the old ones had a kick, you really don't want to be on the business end of one of these new models.
Though this email doesn't mention it, we all know it was the librarian that slipped those poisoned manifestos to the kids.
Are they spying on us girls too? It's a taser. I'll hold on to this.
Pasternak, in the Soviet Union, wrote a book critical of the October Revolution. Can you think of anything more stupid? Beyond that, Zhivago and Laura cuckold a servant of the state, and Pasternak has the gall to ennoble their sin as a mystic union. The worst form of physical love, betrayal, is favored over the physical sacrifice of a soldier for his country. I despise freewheeling artists, librarian.
I've never been over here before. We're not allowed. The headmaster calls it separate spheres. Wonder if they feed us the same meals.
Such a display of finality is premature, don't you think?
Derringer doesn't think so. Either that kid's long gone or he's a skeleton in a wall somewhere. Either way, leaving his stuff laying around will only be a distraction.
And this is not. You want our wards to focus on the arrival, and not the poison in those manifestos, correct? Then perhaps such a public celebration of the boy's ability to elude us is counterproductive, no?
No sign of the girl.
I'll check his pockets. Nice.
Half turn-based RPG, half Viking soap opera, the Banner Saga really has no business existing, which is why it warms my cold gamer heart that my fellow gamers kickstarted this game into existence. The team at Stoic delivered on their ambitious promises, and helped prove that us gamers can spot a hot new IP even when big publishers cannot.
I'll hold on to this.
You have just found it.
What have you got? No sign of the precal.